Thanks for joining us. Time to get ready for NBA action on 2K Sports. The NBA regular season tips off. It'll be Joe Johnson and the Atlanta Hawks facing off against Michael Beasley and the Minnesota Timberwolves. 2K Sports' presentation of the NBA.
Let it go.
Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the NBA. Regular season now underway. Opening day of the NBA. The preseason is now over, and the real games can begin. This is Kevin Harlan with Clark Kellogg and Steve Kerr. What an exciting game. Opening night in the NBA. State Farm presents the starting lineups. First for the Hawks, Heinrich and Johnson in the backcourt. And the big man playing center, Al Horford. A terrific presence on the low block, one of the best. Then it's Marvin Williams, and it's Smith in at the power forwards position. And looking at the Timberwolves, Luke Ridnour and Wesley Johnson in the backcourt. And it's Darko Milicic locking down the middle. They utilize his abilities to maintain that presence under the rim. Then there's Beasley, and it's Love in at the four slot.
Well, guys, the Timberwolves are looking to establish more of a home court advantage. I mean, last season, they narrowly missed having the worst record at home in the NBA at just 12 wins and 29 losses.
So Atlanta will get the first possession. Here's Heinrich. Gathers. And easy 2 points on the layup. Heinrich's got the first points up on the board here for the Hawks. You just talked about the Timberwolves at home, 12 and 29. That was actually their best performance at home in the last 3 seasons.
Wow.
Steve?
You can forgive these Minnesota fans for being a little frustrated. And they are in the bottom 10 in attendance. But it could be a lot worse. I mean, this team's record has been horrible the last few years. Let's hope that this club can get back on the right track and get their fans back in the building.
Here is Heinrich. Johnson down low, working on Beasley. A shot by Johnson, no good. From deep three-point range, and the shot is good from Johnson. Johnson's got 5. Now here's Heinrich. Beasley comes with a double team. Left side Williams. No one near him. Good, and Heinrich gets the assist.
As soon as the double team came, he immediately looked to find the open man.
Larry Drew was brought into Atlanta and wanted to help boost the defense, but it seemed to go the opposite direction, quite honestly. Could just be a transitioning phase, but if it isn't, that has to be worrisome going forward for the Hawks fan.
Earlier, Doris Burke spoke with head coach Larry Drew. And Doris, what'd you find out?
The one player on his mind in this matchup, Kevin Love. And it's not for his scoring ability, but for the harm he can do to a team on the backboards. You saw what he can do to teams if he goes unchecked, Coach said. We don't want to let him get up and get over 20 or 30 rebounds on us. And to do that, we got to check him out each time a shot goes up. Guys, easier said than done.
Always great to hear from you, Doris. Yeah, Clark, the Hawks didn't really go the right direction on defense under Larry Drew, and Steve, that kind of surprised me.
Well, they did step it up in terms of being defensive-minded in the playoffs last year. And I think that was important because you're right, Kevin, they weren't great defensively in the regular season under Drew, but you know, sometimes it takes time for a roster and players to figure out exactly what a coach is looking for.
Jeff Teague, he's checked in for Atlanta. Here's Teague. Johnson outside. Shot from free throw range. Rebound, Love.
Well, I tell you what, really a good job to get open and then just kind of box the release.
Milicic, no luck.
And the defender, the rotation came over, really seemed to bother him, and that threw that shot off.
Now T, and it's Johnson picking him up. The 10-footer. Tries again, and a dunk by Horford.
You know, everybody's got a job to do. Each player has a role in clearing space under the boards. That's his.
And then collecting on the second chance points clutch. So important.
And is he hard to handle in the paint. Just so strong in the attacks.
Beasley for three. And that one's good.
He is not the guy you want to leave open behind the arc, guys. I mean, come on. You got to understand who you're defending.
Well, Atlanta was a playoff team a year ago, and they won their share of games. But they didn't appear to be a contender. And despite all the talent that they've had the last few years, you just have to wonder which direction this franchise is headed.
With a break in the action, we've got a chance now to look at last year's top rebounders. Number 1, Kevin Love.
And Kevin, this guy was the top rebounder for a reason. Hustle and tenacity and pursuing the basketball. No luck involved in that.
Minnesota making some changes. Martell Webster, he's checked in for Beasley. And Ellington is subbed in for Wesley Johnson. Damian Wilkins checked in for the Hawks. Crawford comes in for Joe Johnson. Here's Crawford. Knocks it down from 19 feet. Crawford's got his first bucket of the night. Steve, that remark you had about Atlanta, they kind of backed into the playoffs, but Clark, they woke up when they got there.
They did. I mean, it seemed like they were sleepwalking through the regular season, inconsistent and not being able to put together any kind of strong winning streaks. And when the playoffs came around, they showed you what we thought we were going to see during the regular season.
Yeah, you're right. 1 on the clock, and there are the Timberwolves with another bucket.
He's gotten himself involved in just about every aspect of this game.
Yeah, it's been a fantastic all-around performance, guys.
Teague kicks to Crawford. And foul called as he misses. He'll go to the line and shoot 2.
And, you know, Jamal Crawford, you think about him in that first-round series against Orlando, guys. How good was he? I mean, he just lit them up. The smaller Magic backcourt had no answer for him.
Well, going back to Crawford, guys, in that Orlando series, I thought he was the difference offensively. He shot 52% from beyond the three-point line, about 6 free throws per game. He put on a real show offensively. He was fantastic.
And the second free throw, good.
Well, the Timberwolves are hoping that they've found some answers at the point guard position. The veteran Luke Ridnour really played a steady role for them a year ago, but Johnny Flynn, their top draft pick in 2009, missed almost 30 games and really struggled on the court.
Here's Webster, defended by Wilkins. Webster can't get the bucket. They can go 2 for 1.
Yeah, they need to play it smart. Make sure you get a good shot first, and then maybe a second possession.
Here's Teague, good from 11 feet out. Well, for the Timberwolves, the answer to their playmaking needs, a point guard, Steve and Clark, may have arrived in the form of rookie Ricky Rubio, joining the team from Spain.
Well, it's got to be a relief, Kevin, for the Minnesota fans to see the former number 5 pick in the 2009 draft finally in uniform for the Timberwolves. Scoring is still a question mark for him, but his passing, court vision, and flair, all of that is unquestioned.
Minnesota making some changes. Anthony Randolph, he's checked in for Love. Johnson comes in for Wayne Ellington. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Luke Ridnour. Atlanta also making some changes. Josh Powell is checked in for Smith. Williams comes in for Damian Wilkins. And it's Heinrich in for Jeff Teague. He hits the second from the line. Here's Crawford. We've got 22 seconds left in the first. Heinrich. Here's Powell. Crawford outside. That's good. Crawford's got 6.
Now defensively, you have to question the effort, but nice play there.
Here's Milicic. Great ball movement. Unloads. Another miss by Minnesota.
Kind of a waste of a possession there.
Absolutely empty trip. That's not the shot you're looking for in that situation.
And that concludes a back-and-forth, high-scoring first quarter of play. The Hawks on top, up 3.
A lot of hard work being put in on the glass. This is a very physical team. They're doing a nice job in the paint.
Yeah, and I think they're doing a good job gang rebounding too, Steve. Everybody's boxing out down there.
It's more NBA coming your way.
Coming up this Thursday, Dwight Howard and the Orlando Magic go on the road to battle the Miami Heat, live from Miami. Be there.
Always a pleasure to have you with us. The season officially underway. Timberwolves trail by 3. And here's Rubio. Now the pass to Johnson. From deep. The shot is off.
That's a bad shot. You really hurt your team by taking a shot from that range. Put your defense in jeopardy.
And it certainly won't make him any friends with his teammates. You know, because the Hawks struggled late in the season, regular season that is, they were overlooked in the East during last year's playoffs, but I think they used that to their advantage.
First free throw is good. Yeah, the Hawks took care of the Magic with ease and gave the Bulls a run for their money.
Well, when the Hawks won that first game in Chicago, they really caught everybody's attention, but eventually Derrick Rose and the Bulls were just too much for Atlanta, especially at the defensive end of the floor.
Well, you had to feel for the Hawks and wonder why they couldn't get much going for themselves on the road last year, finishing under 500 away from home.
The Hawks leading by 4. Heinrich kicks to Crawford. He dishes it to Powell. Guarded now by Randolph. Heinrich from outside. Minnesota with the rebound. Back to the Hawks. Steve, they weren't a great road team the year before either.
Well, you can't put it on youth anymore. I mean, this is a team that has some...
And he flushes it through. Sprite Slam Cam with the replay.
How's that for finishing with flavor?
Absolutely fantastic.
I think he was saving that one for a special occasion.
Rubio with it. Offensive rebound. Randolph kicks to Rubio. They're moving the ball. Miller. Knocked away. Second shot opportunity, and he sails in for the layup. Rubio's got his first bucket in this one. And now the first timeout called here for the Hawks.
You know, the Timberwolves were only 10-20 against the East last season. They say the West is a dominant conference, but not when you're talking about the Timberwolves. They were a tough team.
With this stoppage in play, we have a chance now to show you which teams led the league in three-point percentage last year. Fifth, the Timberwolves.
You know, a solid three-point game can be the cornerstone of an effective offense. I mean, it adds a little pop and punch to what a team is doing offensively. And last year, this team was not made up of just good three-point shooters. They had great three-point shooters.
Looking at who's out there now for the Timberwolves. Darko Milicic, he's checked in for Miller. Beasley comes in for Martell Webster. And Luke Ridnour subbed in for Ricky Rubio. Heinrich against Ridnour. Johnson. He's guarded by Johnson. From 20 feet out. And the basket by Johnson. Well, for the Timberwolves, they've never managed 25 wins in the 4 seasons since they traded away Kevin Garnett. Steve, how long do you think it's going to take to rebuild this team?
Well, unfortunately, it looks like it's going to be a while, Kevin, because, you know, the one building block you can say they have is Kevin Love. You know, we'll see how Ricky Rubio does. We'll see if any of these young draft picks that they picked up this year can improve this team. But it seems to me they're still at least a couple of years away.
And it's the Hawks with the ball. Michael Beasley picking up that last basket.
He's put on an offensive clinic. They've got to deny him the ball.
And if that fails, then double him, Steve. I mean, they can't allow him to continue to hurt him like this.
Johnson dishes to... Oh, and the jam by Horford.
I tell you what, I bet that's the best assist we're going to see tonight.
Well, he laid it up there, Steve. A pass where only his teammate could get it.
Perfect timing. I mean, that's what you need to make that kind of a connection.
Here is Ridenour.
Joe Johnson was a big part of the Hawks' playoff push last year, but like in the regular season, his scoring was down a peg.
Beasley kicks to Randolph. Milicic passes to Johnson. Fires from 14. Rebounded by the Hawks. Smith's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Back to Joe Johnson, Clark. He's seen a pretty hit or miss game to game in the playoffs. And Steve, they're paying him a lot of money to be good in the playoffs.
Well, he's probably getting paid a little too much, to be honest with you, but that's not his fault. That's the contract his agent negotiated. But he's a player who relies heavily on that jump shot. And as we all know, sometimes the perimeter jumpers don't go in. And with him not going to the foul line as often as he did early on, those numbers are going to be down some nights.
A baseline J, and Heinrich with the basket, the assist by Johnson. Heinrich's got his second bucket of the night. Randolph dishes to Milicic. Smith against Randolph. He passes to Johnson. Beasley kicks to Milicic, and stolen by Horford.
So a couple of poor possessions now in a row consecutively. Both times turnover. That's not productive basketball. That's not winning basketball.
No, Clark, you start stringing errors back-to-back together, you lose all momentum in this game.
Smith kicks to Heinrich. Straight up, and it goes as the official calls the foul. Count it. He'll shoot one more at the free throw line. Minnesota making some changes. Brad Miller, he's checked in for Milicic. Love comes in for Anthony Randolph. And Ellington is subbed in for Wesley Johnson. And that one falls for Heinrich.
Well, if you want to talk about why the Timberwolves struggled and why they did last year in particular, defense comes to mind immediately. Their opponent shot 47% from the field and 37% beyond the arc.
And the Hawks with possession. They're on a 14-4 run. Covered by Beasley. The feed now to Powell. 6 on the shot clock. Now here's Johnson. He's guarded closely. The Hawks again can't hit. Well, the Timberwolves, and here's one for you, Steve, the 4th worst defense in the NBA last season statistically. Clark, clearly plenty of room for improvement.
Yeah, and I don't think it's a physical thing for him, Kevin. Good size and strength on the wings and inside. It's all attitude, mental, disposition. You got to communicate, and it has to be a multiple effort. Everybody's got to be on the same page, committed to playing defense.
Heinrich against Love. Knocks it loose. And stolen by Love. Rises up and throws it down.
That's one nice jam right there. Make no mistakes. Just throw it down with both hands.
Good point. Took care of business simply and solidly. Now Johnson. 1 second left. That misses. Would have counted had it gone in. So we've reached the end of the first half of play. Hawks lead by 13.
And welcome. The NBA season is in its early stages, which means we're just getting all warm and cozy here on the HP Halftime Report. The Hawks are on a tear right now. A chance to add a W tonight and get above 500. For Al Horford, things are certainly going his way against the Timberwolves. The bucket looks about 5 feet wide for him. He hasn't missed one shot. Can you believe it? And no shortage of desire from the Timberwolves side of things. High speed, high energy. Every time they get the ball, they're off and running. The team's leading scorer, Kevin Love. After 2, he's got 6 points, added 3 rebounds as well. Both these guys came to play tonight. Gaudy first half numbers. We already got a few games gone final. Check them out from around the league. It was the Bobcats with the win against the Magic in Orlando. They just eke out a single bucket ahead. And another one of the games that went final, Philadelphia with a loss to the Raptors at Air Canada Center. They couldn't get anything going, it seemed. Andre Iguodala had the team high. And a look here at the other action around the association. For the Warriors, a tight battle against the Los Angeles Lakers. This one will come down to the wire. And now back to the game in Minnesota. Glad to have you with us here on 2K Sports.
I'm a bud, I'm a tree, I'm a bat, I'm a plane on the ground underneath the feet.
Thanks for tuning back in as we get back to the action here in this NBA opener. Here is Ridenour. Beasley, the pass to Johnson. Love dishes to Ridenour. Milicic. It's tipped.
He wasn't paying any attention to the defense. Poor pass there.
Shot's good. Heinrich's got it going here in the start of the second half. The first points in the third quarter for the Hawks. Over Johnson. Ridenour, that's good.
I'll tell you what, he's made more than a few of those in his career.
You know, the Hawks did not secure home court advantage in the playoff last season, and a few games they dropped in that chase were against the Western Conference.
Now let's take a look at the most efficient scorers in the NBA from last year's campaign. You look at Al Horford. You know what you're going to get from him day in and day out.
You know, nobody said this guy couldn't miss last season, and because he was such a good percentage shooter, one of the best in the league, his teammates always were looking for him.
Well, Clark, you brought the Hawks and the West only 13 wins in 30 games for them against Western Conference opponents. Steve, that's going to have to improve.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to want to be a top seed in your conference, I think you have to play 500 ball at least against the other conference, and Atlanta certainly looking to make improvement this year.
Here's Heinrich. 9 points in the game so far. Atlanta calls timeout. This is the first they're seeing of the Timberwolves here. First game of the NBA's regular season for them.
And they've got to feel pretty good because last year they took both meetings between these two clubs.
So like Steve just said, they shut these guys out last season no differently than you would have predicted.
Yeah, guys, I mean, they put just as much hurt on them as the teams in their own conference did.
Here's Heinrich, guarded now by Michael Beasley. Horford backing in. Lets it fly. Johnson kicks to Horford. Takes it up. He dents the rim with a two-handed slam. Wow.
He's short for the center position, but he makes up for it with tremendous leaping ability.
Here's Milicic, and you can count it. He'll go to the line with a chance to make it 3.
Well, they haven't been getting lit up from outside here. All the points they're giving up are from in close. They've got to offer more resistance.
Yeah, defense has to get better, Clark. They've got to body up, bump somebody, get physical, force the action back out to the perimeter.
That's good for Milicic. You know, Clark, isolation offenses like they play with the Hawks and the Blazers, that can be very efficient.
Yeah, they can be. I mean, I like more movement with all 5 guys, but when you have good ball handlers that you isolate, it tends to limit turnovers, and you know where shots are coming from, so you're in better offensive rebounding position.
Horford, no luck.
Now, he can't get that one to go, but that's a shot he'll hit more often than not.
Had a chance there to cut it to single digits, but it's off target. But Clark, teams that run their offense through ISOs sometimes struggle more in the playoffs.
Well, they're predictable. That's one thing. And when you talk about all of the video scouting and the game preparation through video, it makes you easier to defend when you isolate a lot.
Smith right side. Lets it go with a 3. Beasley with the rebound. Beasley's got 3 rebounds so far in the game. Ball's knocked loose. Here's the break. Into Smith.
And Josh Smith has always been so talented for that Atlanta Hawks team. But last season, I think he matured quite a bit. He became a team captain and really took on more of a leadership role for the Atlanta squad.
The first one falls. And making a change here are the Timberwolves. Rubio's checked in. Atlanta also making some changes. Pachulia comes in for Al Horford. And it's Teague in for Kirk Heinrich. Smith hits them both. Here is Rubio. Kicks it out to Beasley. Launches it. And that one's good. Beasley's got 8 points. Going back to Smith, he has become a bit of an elder statesman. Wouldn't you think, Clark, for the Hawks, as this is his 8th season with that team?
Amazing. I didn't realize he had been around that long. It's hard to believe that's the case, but he's definitely taken the younger Hawks under his wing. Please, Kevin, don't believe for a second I intended that pun.
I didn't believe it at all.
Okay.
Milicic, no luck.
Really good work defensively. This coach has to be happy with his team.
Yeah, forcing that miss right there, great effort.
Beasley with the steal. For the finish. Throws down the breakaway jam.
He made sure everybody saw that slam, Kevin. Stayed on the rim for a little while extra.
Maybe wanted to give his legs a little rest there, Clark.
And there's a minute 45 left in the third quarter. Here's Teague. Covered by Rubio. Here's Teague. Covered by Rubio. 5 to shoot. Rubio is tagged with the reach. That's his first foul. Minnesota making some changes. Anthony Randolph, he's checked in for Milicic. Ellington comes in for Wesley Johnson. And Luke Ridnour subbed in for Ricky Rubio. Atlanta also making some changes. Al Horford, he's checked in for Pachulia. Damian Wilkins comes in for Marvin Williams. And it's Crawford in for Joe Johnson. Here's Crawford. Great look there, but off target.
I thought he'd make that one, and that's his range, and the defense nowhere to be seen.
Randolph can't hit. The Hawks leading by 11. And here's the fast break. It's blocked. He feeds it to Ridnour. From 20 feet out, there's the bucket. Good. Ridnour's got 4 this quarter. Here's Atlanta. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. The Celtics will be coming into town for the next game. That game will be a quick pit stop before hitting the road again. Here's Horford. The basket drops, and he gets fouled on the shot. 1 free throw coming his way.
Al Horford got a nice big extension from the Hawks, Kevin, going into last season, and I think he earned every penny of it. He had his best pro season yet.
That's good from Horford. I like that note there on Horford. Clark, he's a terrific player, deserved the money. No drastic changes either in his numbers after the big contract signed. Steve, just a steady improvement in every facet.
Yeah, that's right. Getting the career highs in field goal percentage, free throw percentage, assists, points. I mean, he's really developed into a rock-solid power forward. Kind of an old-school power forward. He just does a little bit of everything down there.
Takes it up. The shot by Ellington, no good. Stolen by Randolph. Whistle blows. Yep, that's going to be a travel. And here's what's upcoming now for the Hawks. The Celtics will be coming into town for the next game. That game is the first and last of their homestand. The Hawks leading by 12. Smith dishes to T. Working it around now. He gathers. Ridnour with the rebound. And Clark and Steve, fast break points aside, they've had a tough time offensively.
Yeah, the half-court offense, that attack has really been pedestrian, even lackluster, if you will.
Yeah, I agree. It seems like they're getting very isolation heavy. The ball is stopping. Everybody's going one-on-one, trying to do it on their own.
There's Crawford with the 3, and that's not going to go. Well, through 3 quarters of play, down double digits, it may be difficult to overcome. Al Horford.
The NBA season gathers momentum. Dirk Nowitzki and the Dallas Mavericks go up against Manu Ginobili and the San Antonio Spurs. Live this Friday night.
Now let's check in with Doris Burke for our Sprite Spark of the game. Doris?
Well, guys, it was the stretch by the Hawks that garners the Sprite Spark today. They got to work early as they built this great lead off a first quarter that set the tone. It's been their game to lose ever since, and they don't seem to want to relinquish control.
Okay, Doris, thank you. And that run, Clark, really changed the complexion of this game.
Yeah, it sure did. I thought it stirred something up in them that got them on a good run.
Yeah, got the ball rolling for them, and they were able to keep it going from there, guys.
Johnson against Heinrich. Crawford against Ridnour. Crawford kicks to Williams. With nobody on him, he buries the jumper. Williams has got the first points up on the board here in the fourth for the Hawks. The 10-footer. Here's Johnson. A strong effort on the rebound. Nets the second chance points. Here's Crawford. And it's Johnson picking him up. Crawford against Johnson. Randolph against Horford. Stolen by Randolph.
You know, guys, you look at it, one turnover in the game, sometimes that can get overlooked. But I think it shows how well he's playing. I mean, he's really making the most of every possession.
He's put on an offensive clinic. They've got to deny him the ball.
Yeah, and if that fails, then double him, Steve. I mean, they can't allow him to continue to hurt him like this.
No good there. He's unable to convert on the three-point play.
You know, the Minnesota Timberwolves' struggles have been wide-ranging. Offense was definitely a big problem. They tried to push the pace to get easier shots. They were, in fact, #1 in pace of play last season with 99 possessions a game.
Shot clock at 6. Here's Heinrich. Shot is off. And Minnesota the other way now. It's too bad, Clark. You bring up an interesting this piece thing, which a lot of coaches talk about, a lot of scouts zero in on. The Timberwolves first in pace last season in the league, but Steve, they were tied for 7th least in fast break points.
Well, that doesn't bode well, does it? Play fast but don't score? Man, no wonder they were so bad last year.
And it's Johnson picking him up. Heinrich kicks to Crawford. Ridnour knocks it away. Timberwolves trail by 6. Here's Webster. Back to Johnson. Kirk Heinrich with the rebound. Heinrich's got his 5th rebound right now in the game.
A slight advantage for them in the rebound category. They've got to continue their work on the glass.
Yeah, I agree with you, Steve. I mean, they're on the right side of the ledger, and that is all that matters to them right now with the lead they have.
They continue to barrel their way inside, and when's the defense going to adjust?
Well, I'm asking the same question myself, partner. I mean, that's 8 points out of their last 10 coming inside.
Here's Crawford. Jumps up. The feather touch on the finger roll. Beautiful.
Right, you just see them taking it strong into the paint over and over again.
Yeah, that really seems to be the strategy, partner. I mean, pound it inside.
Shoots the 3. Rebounded by the Timberwolves. Randolph's got his 4th rebound in this one. Here's... Now Sprite slam can to replay that one.
Well, they're pulling closer every possession, really playing well now.
Well, they've ratcheted it up a bit here. I mean, expending a lot of energy, but you know what? They're back in it now. Well, Wesley Johnson has been great. 13 points and a block.
Minnesota making some changes. Kevin Love's checked in for Randolph. Beasley comes in for Martell Webster. And Ricky Rubio subbed in for Luke Ridnour. Atlanta also making some changes. Pachulia, he's checked in for Horford. Smith comes in for Josh Powell. And it's Johnson in for Jamal Crawford. Here's Heinrich. And the whistle blows on the backcourt violation. He went over and back. Luke Ridnour is checked in for Ricky Rubio. And a change for the Hawks. Horford's checked in. Here's Ridnour.
I see you.
Back to Love. To tie it up. Rebound, Atlanta. Heinrich's got 6 rebounds now in the game.
Solid advantage in the rebounding totals for them so far here.
You know, in every game, but particularly in a close game, every little advantage you can use helps, and they're certainly enjoying one on the glass here.
Johnson. And it's going to be 2 free throws. Drew contact on the shot.
That's good defense. Don't let a guy get a lay-in, foul hard, and send him to the free throw line.
I like that billboard there, sending a message. You can't come in here and get anything free in our paint.
And he's unable to get the second one. And he was fouled on the way up. 2 free throws now for him. Sinks the first one, and that puts them up by 5.
Kevin, right now, they're doing a good job at the line. They're hovering around 83, 84, 85% from the stripe. That's good stuff. I mean, that's well done.
Perfect from the line, and it's a 6-point ball game.
You know, you've got to like the fact that they're getting to the line, and on top of that, they're making their free throws in this half. That bodes well going forward.
Well, he was going to have to get lucky to make that one.
Young fella, I think there was a much better option available that time.
He's guarded by Ridnow. The shot. Johnson gets the bucket.
They are just lighting him up from mid-range area.
You know, sometimes we forget about the value of the mid-range or in-between game. This team has made 8 of their last 10 with that shot, the in-between shot. Boy, Kevin, you have to take better care of the ball, and they just haven't done that this half after doing a good job in the first.
Well, that's great. You take advantage of that turnover and convert at the other end.
Absolutely. I mean, points off turnovers this time generated off the steal.
Minnesota calls timeout. They trail by 10. 1:09 left in the game. Let's go over to the sideline with Doris Burke.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, I was able to listen in on the Timberwolves head coach talking to his team. He said, "We didn't come this far to back down now. This is when we have to battle the hardest. Summon every ounce of energy you have and play your best basketball. Let's see how it works, guys."
Well, they've built a big lead here so far, and a lot of it has to do with how well they've been rebounding.
Yeah, every time they make a stop, they're securing the rebound, and that's really allowed them to get out to this lead.
Heinrich passes to Smith. Down to 5 on the shot clock. Guarded now by Kevin Love. Offline from the high post.
Boy, surprised to see that one stay out.
Me too, Steve. I mean, those are ones that usually go down for sure.
Heinrich gets whistled for blocking. That'll be his second foul of the game.
I like that foul. You don't want to give up an easy 2 in transition.
No, you don't want to give up a layup. Make him run him from the stripe, and maybe you get a break and he makes only one of the free throws and misses them both.
And here's Atlanta. The biggest lead of the game, 15 points. He's guarded by Ridnow. Johnson inside. He's guarded by Johnson. And the rejection by Milicic. And here we go with Luke Ridnour. Shoots it. Williams pulls it in. And so the Hawks take the win. It was a solid win, Clark.
Yeah, it was, and I think it came down to will more than skill. They went out and got this one.
And that about wraps it up for Clark Kellogg, Steve Kerr, and Doris Burke. This is Kevin Harlan thanking you for watching the NBA presented by 2K Sports. And now, Jordan presents our player of the game, Kirk Heinrich.
Wanna roll? Well, let's go. Yeah, hands in the sky like AWE. 2, 3.